Welcome to INN CEO Talks. In this episode, we're talking about silver with junior mining company CMC Metals CEO Kevin Brewer. The company owns several projects, their flagship being Silver Hart in the south central Yukon. In 2019, the company had an extraordinary year in what Mr. Brewer says will be the next major silver district in the world. Kevin, welcome. It's good to see you again.
Thank you very much, Stuart.
You know, the last time we talked, you pointed out that you have 5 properties in the Rancheria Silver District, and you're confident that the current strategy will lead to a discovery of not only one, but several high-grade polymetallic deposits in that district. Tell us more. Bring us up to speed on where you're at and the strategy that you're developing.
Yeah, well, since we last talked, Stuart, we've continued our homework, and first of all, we really like our flagship property at Silver Hart. It's showing great potential to host some what we call carbonate replacement deposits. These are big deposits. They can be anywhere from 10 to 120 million tons in size. They tend to be high grade. They're low cost to mine. At our site, we have a couple of targets that are right at surface. And they've got huge extent, like 1,100 meters by 600 meters by a couple hundred meters in thickness. I mean, these are big targets, and so we're switching gears at Silver Hart. For years we've been pursuing drilling the vein targets there, and sure enough, they're great. I mean, there is 7.5 million ounces in them right now, but we consider that these CRD targets, if any of them have any mineralization in them, and our soils, our geochemistry and our geophysics tells us we're in the right place. Our geology tells us we're near the heat that these systems need to form. We've got all the right ingredients. So if any of these systems hit, it's going to be huge, and we're very excited about that.
So what's the next stage for you here as you continue to prove out the resource? What is your long-term strategy?
So the immediate strategy, of course, is to we're planning to do a cross section of drill holes across a couple conductors at Silver Hart. We call them T1 and T4. I got the drill program from the geophysics guys the other day. They finally finished designing it for us. And so it's looking like it's up to about 5,000 meters of drilling required just to do a first pass on those conductors. I mean, the conductors are so big that that really it takes a lot of drilling just to give us a one cover pass. So we're looking at that at Silver Hart. With our other projects, we just hired SRK Consulting to do a compilation of massive amounts of data we have from the Amy project, from exploration that goes back to the 1960s, mostly done in 1960s, 1980s. But I mean, you had adits, you had 300,000 line feet of geochemistry, you've got geophysics, you've got drilling, you've got good geology, you've got a ton of data. So we had to basically hire a company to digitize all that, sort it out for us. And it was great to have SRK aboard because they already have experience in the Rancheria Silver District with Kerr Mining. So we saw them as a very credible team to come aboard with us.
Okay, but that's not the only other project that you have in the area either, is it? You've got Silverknife as well?
Well, yeah. Well, the story continues. So, my argument lately has been, we got these great targets at Silver Hart. Then we've got a known CRD at Amy, and it's open to expansion and all this wonderful data. And it looks like it's going to be a great project in itself. But the Silverknife, 1 kilometer away from the Silvertip mine and mill, a known prospect that was drilled off that covers both of our claims, and then the recent geophysics showing that there's good potential for western extensions of that prospect right onto our, continuing onto our claim block. And besides that, there's some unexplained geochemical anomalies that obviously come from the south, and nobody's looked in the southern part of the property. But it appears to have, geologically, it appears to have the same geology, the McDane Formation it's called, that is the host to the Silvertip deposit. So not only is geophysics showing us in the northern part of that property, but we've got some good geological prospects in the southern part as well. We know that Kerr being drilling in that area as well. So it's all pretty exciting. You've got Silver Hart, Amy, and Silverknife, all three great carbonate replacement deposit, or the buzzword CRD style targets in this Rancheria Silver District.
So investors are asking, okay, what's your next step now? Back to more drilling to prove out resources, or are you now talking to others that are going to get involved? Where to from here, and how is that going to impact an investment decision that I'm considering at the moment?
Okay, that's an excellent question. Sure. So we're going to go into financing in the next couple of weeks, and I call it my drill fund for Silver Hart. So we're going to go after $2,000, a couple $1 million to pay for that 5,000 meter program, and we've already got money in till to do the work on Amy and Silverknife. It's not huge budgets, but we want to take them to drill ready stage this year. We filed for permits with British Columbia. So our outlook for those projects is to take them to that drill ready stage and attract in a joint venture partner who will subsequently drill those projects in 2023. We'll continue our focus on Silver Hart, of course, and bringing up. We haven't talked about Newfoundland stuff.
No, that's next. Yeah.
Let's slip it in there. That is the pipeline of projects for the future. So, we're already spending money on those. I guess you're going to ask me the question on them anyway.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, okay, let's go back. Now, let's go to the other end of the country, out to Newfoundland, because you've just optioned a third property there, right? A copper-silver property?
Yeah, I did.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, we just recently optioned Rodney Pond. It had the same mineralization as basically we're seeing at Bridal Veil and Terra Nova. Now these projects, they're different from Newfound Gold. Okay, they're not gold targets. They're copper, silver, lead, very high grades. We're seeing grades of copper 5%, 9%, and outcrops. I mean, that's superb mineralization. And we're also seeing other companies starting to announce out interesting stuff. I mean, there was an announcement today by Newfoundland Discovery. Rock's looking very similar to what we're seeing in this Gander zone. And Sassy Resources right on the north of us in the Gander North project, right north of our Bridal Veil. I mean, some really interesting results coming out lately. And I think what we're going to see, Stuart, is we're going to see some projects in Newfoundland come out of this Gander zone, very different from Newfound Gold, but they're going to be probably base metal projects or some base mixture of base precious metal. But they're going to be good. They're going to be good discoveries, and I'm hoping that one of our projects is going to be one of those good discoveries. It's early stage, but we're pretty excited about it.
Well, and I'm sure that a bunch of investors are as well. But they'll be looking at your portfolio of projects and go, "How come you're only in the low teens on value right at the moment?" Does that surprise you a little bit, or what's it going to take to see a movement in your stock price?
Well, in some ways I am surprised. In other ways, I'm not. The market is challenging right now. But what some people are failing to realize is it's like when you're looking at these CRD projects. It's not all about silver. It's also about lead and zinc. And look at the increases in zinc alone. We've gone from $1.05 to about $1.60 a pound last year. Lead, similar good increase. These are major contributors. I think like 40% to our Silver Hart project right now. So people get stuck in silver. And we're rising up and down with the silver, or they also get stuck in this mode like we're not paying attention to the valuation. The valuation out of Red Cloud, excellent report by Taylor, was 25 cents before last season. We got all this value added from all that work we did last season, all the homework we're doing, all the messaging, all the acquisitions, and getting work done on every single one of those projects. Nothing recognized. Well, what can you do? Yeah, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't get it to drink it. I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. But I mean,
Right.
the bottom line is, I'd like to see us between 20 and 30 cents. But every other CEO on the planet wants their stock to be a bit higher as well.
Exactly. Such is the market, cyclical markets, especially when you're in resources. And so,
yeah.
But
I think what we've done, Stu, is we've done a really good job of minimizing risk in our investment. So we got contingency plans, on the CRDs. We've got we picked up every property we picked up. It's at reasonable price. It's road accessible. They're easy to permit. Going to Newfoundland, so one of the best jurisdictions in the world to operate in right now. God love it. It's my home province too. But anyway, I mean, it's so, there is a lot of, it's a good thing to have a diversified portfolio like CMC has, because it gives you lots of options and lots of opportunities to add value for your shareholders.
Well, each time you come back, Kevin, you come back with more news, and it's encouraging, builds on what was shared with us before. And I hope you're going to come back in another month or so and give us further positive updates.
Well, there's I'm a little bit busy, but we'll keep it up. Thank you very much.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much for your time today.